What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to another Why You Should Read. I know it's been a while. I've been very busy. School, well, the last 2 weeks of school. If you've been to college, if you're going to college, you should know what the last 2 weeks are. The last 2 weeks of grad school are the exact same. It was very busy. But I'm back with another Why You Should Read. And with me being off this month thanks to winter break, I should be able to post more regularly. At least that's going to be my goal, is to obviously post at least once a week and hopefully record more so that I have more to spread out for those weeks where it's just difficult for me to make a video. But if you've been listening to the podcast and if you listened to last episode, you should have some idea as to what this Why You Should Read is going to be about, because I kind of hinted at what I was going to be talking about for my next video back. So this is Why You Should Read, the case about two sisters becoming extremely obsessed with me after I saved them. Like I said in the podcast, if you listened to it, if you did, awesome. If you didn't, well, maybe you should change that. If you saw my Why You Should Read on Streaming in Another World led to a massive Yandere following, or if you saw my Why You Should Read on a Dark Elf Yandere chased me all the way from another world, which doesn't seem like many of you saw, but this is an opportunity where you can watch it. If you're a fan of Yandere, I think you are going to love this manga. I already love this manga. It is a comedy drama, harem romance, school life seinen written by Mayon, who is in fact the author of how Streaming in Another World led to a massive Yandere following. So if you saw that video, if you liked that video, if you're reading that manga, I think you're gonna like this manga also, because honestly, this is like that just, turned up to a degree where I don't even think I can put a lot of the images from the manga into this video, but I'm going to try. So this manga is about Hayato, which honestly seems like the most common name in manga right now, but it's about Hayato and two sisters, Orisa and Aina. Orisa is in the same age as Hayato. They're in the same, I don't think they're in the same class, but they're in the same school year. Aina is a year younger, so I guess they're second years. But it's about how Hayato saves these two beautiful and famous classmates that they hate men, but Hayato, a man, has to save them. And he saves them wearing a pumpkin mask because it's Halloween. Why is this coming out now even though it's Halloween themed? I don't know. Maybe it was written then. Maybe it just took a while to be translated. No idea. Regardless, Hayato saves these sisters. And he saves these sisters from a very dark attack. I mean, someone broke into their house, tied up their mother, was trying to rob them, and then proceeded to try and do other things, if not for Hayato coming in with his pumpkin mask and plastic bat. But regardless, Hayato saves the day. And now that he saved them, the sisters who once hated men, well, they still hate men, except for Hayato. But they don't know that Hayato is the one that saved him until like the next day. At least Aina finds out real fast that Hayato is the one that saved them. They are now obsessed with Hayato because he's their savior. Honestly though, this manga should have some more tags in the way of adult and dark and maybe even psychological, because Hayato saves them not just because he's a good guy. Well, he is a good guy, but he saves them because he has this thing where it seems like he needs to help everybody around him. And it's not one of those classic like, oh, that's just kind of an MC things. I think it stems from the fact that both of his parents are dead, and he feels this kind of like, I need to try and help everybody that I can, because you don't know when you're going to lose people, and you don't know what people are going to lose kind of thing. On that same note, the sisters hate men because of bad stuff that happened when they were little, but it happened not just because they were little, but it happened because they didn't have a father, because their father died also. So when Hayato saves them, it's like they got their father back. I don't want to say they love him like a father, because they don't. At least I hope not, because if they love him like a father, this is very uncomfortable love. But they see him now as someone that can protect them, and I don't want to say save them, but really protect them, watch out for them, kind of take care of them but not really. I don't think they're really looking for that. I think they're kind of just like, oh my gosh, this guy saved us. He's the only good guy in the world kind of thing. And the only guy that we loved before was our father, but our father is dead. Hayato, on the other hand, is like, I don't really want to deal with any of this. And he doesn't want to deal with any of this because, like I said before, he's a good guy. For him, the reason he saved them is because he saw that the door to their house was open and he was like, okay, that's not good. This doesn't feel good. So he goes in and he sees this guy and yeah, he saves them. But he puts on a mask. He puts on his Halloween pumpkin mask to save them because he doesn't want to be identified as the hero. He doesn't want to be identified as the one that saved them. And he says, well, it explicitly says that he doesn't want to be identified as the one that saves them because he doesn't want to be connected to their trauma after going through this experience. In the sense that it's not that he doesn't want to be someone that they can be like, oh, thanks, you understand what happened, blah, blah, blah. It's that he doesn't want them to see him at school and be reminded of what they went through, right? That's a good guy. He's thinking a lot farther ahead than I would have thought. I would have just kind of been like, oh, I gotta stop this. But he went further than that. Now, does it matter that he went further than that? No, of course not. If you read Streaming in Another World, you know it doesn't matter. Because basically the next day, Aina realizes that Hayato is the one that saved them. And she realizes that because of his voice, because of how he acts, and because he touches her shoulder, and when he saved them, he put a blanket over their shoulders, and I don't know, she memorized his touch as their savior. And when I tell you that these girls are obsessed with him, that they are yanderes, it's kind of an understatement. Aina already is like, I want to have your babies. Meanwhile, older sister, Orisa, is like, I want to be your slave. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know. But as far as dark psychological, well, I don't know if it's psychological, but dark, mature, adult yandere stories go, this is one of my favorites. The art style is kind of the same as Streaming in Another World in the sense that it's not bad, it's not great. There are some parts that look real good, some parts that don't. But if you're looking for another yandere, which you should be, this is definitely one to check out. It's only 6 chapters so far, and honestly the 6 chapters kind of just build into where the story's about to start. I mean, chapter 7 really feels like it's going to be the first chapter where the story really starts, because chapter 6 is when Orisa finds out that Hayato is the one that saved them. So chapter 7 really seems like it's the chapter where the manga is really going to start, because everybody knows the story now. They both know who Hayato is. Hayato both knows that they know. So moving forward, I think it's going to be really interesting. I don't think it's going to be funny. I know it says comedy, but so far nothing really funny has happened. A lot of dark things have happened, but nothing really funny has happened. It's not like Streaming in Another World where there are comedy bits, there are funny things that happen. It's more kind of set up for humor. This one doesn't really seem set up for humor. It is much more on the dark and mature side of things, but as it progresses, maybe it'll get funnier. Kind of doubt it. Kind of think this is going to be one of the lock you in a room so you can't escape kind of yandere storylines, which I'm perfectly fine with. So if you want another yandere, this is it right here. And they're sisters, so you know, 2 for the price of 1, I guess. If you enjoyed, if the manga seems interesting, leave a like and subscribe. Check out the other videos in the Why You Should playlist, and check out the podcast. Links are in the description boxes down below. Other than that, I will see all of you in the next one.